Hi, Host Eric here, talking with famous people. We're going to talk about Vegas for a little while, and as I just explained it, sort of the complications of liberty. So, I drove through Vegas and stopped both times on the way up and back when I went to Utah recently with the debate team. On the way up there, I stopped, got gas. I lost $50 in 30 seconds or something. I just decided to go into the casino and take my $50, put $5 in various roulette things. Lost $50. So that was what's the word? Disillusioning. I was like, I fucking hate gambling. Every time I lose, I think I hate gambling, and I don't want to do it anymore. So then I went to Utah, came back from Utah, stopped in Vegas again. Didn't gamble this time, but did see on both occasions sort of the unfortunate realities of a less constrained location in terms of liberty. Good night, Claudia. Which is, I saw several staggering drunks walking down the street, some of the bag in their hands, and they weren't like homeless people. They were just staggering drunk Vegas residents who were deep in the throes of their alcoholism. The notion of a whole city devoted towards people's tendencies towards mathematical fallacies is kind of amusing as an ENTP, but disturbing as a human being a little bit. You kind of got to think of a lot of the gambling is kind of a tax on hope or a tax on poor cognitive habits. But I mean, I like it. I don't want to outlaw it or anything. However, I also don't want that. I don't want to live there, right? I don't want my neighborhood to have a bunch of casinos and brothels and, Lee's discount liquor with staggering drunks walking down the sidewalk all hours of the night. So, to me, it poses no ethical concerns because I understand individuals are going to engage in whatever behaviors they're going to on their own. It poses no ethical concerns for me. I'm not engaged in those businesses, so whatever. But I think that is one of the reasons why we have some manner of regulation. And it's potentially, at least for a outcome-oriented individual, somewhat persuasive as to why some regulation is a good thing and does in fact modify human behavior in ways that allow us to exist in a more community-friendly community. So that's my opening statement on Vegas and sin and wickedness. Now, Lorenz Walker recently got a score of 89 on his sin and wickedness test. So, Lorenz Walker, I wonder if you have any thoughts to chime in regarding the sin and wickedness of Vegas. Good night, Eric.
Oh, that, Eric. I thought you were talking to yourself.
Pretentious thick rib? Okay, so I can't hear Lorenz Walker. I don't know if he's talking or not. I see his mic. JC, do you have any thoughts on my opening speech on NEG or whatever this is we're talking about?
Um, Not really. I mean, I don't know. I don't
Do you like to
I
gamble?
don't see personally. No,
Do you like to hire prostitutes?
no, nope.
Are you a staggering drunk?
No, I am not.
Are
Okay.
you
Strike
one of the
three.
prostitutes?
Strike three.
That's a better
Sorry.
question.
Okay, so I mean, you don't have a lot of personal experience in your own life with engaging in these sort of vice pleasures. I think different types enjoy different vices, right? I don't think ENTPs are particularly susceptible to gambling problems. Although, I guess it could be, but I can't imagine ever getting addicted to gambling.
You need a
It,
gambling machine which is based around debating.
that would just be That wouldn't be gambling. There has to be a chance of losing for it to be gambling.
Wow.
It's a joke-ish sort of thing. I mean, you gotta sometimes engage in a little bit of what I call ego positioning, and people don't like it, but it's part of the whole package. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't hurt. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Now you got me going like this. I got me going like that.
No, I thought it was funny. I was laughing at you.
JC, it's
I
okay.
wasn't judging.
It's okay. I don't feel judged. I feel like I'm engaged in what you call any collapse. Too much subtext.
I do that crap all the time.
Too much
Like, me and my
subtext.
sister have this. We have this ongoing freaking inside joke about everything is all about me all the time. Like, she'll be saying something, and then I'll be like, well, I think blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, well, I wasn't talking about you. And I was just like, yes, but I was talking about me because I talk about me all the time. That's what I do. It's never about you. It's always about me. And it kind of goes with my function a little bit, too. I'm a little bit, I don't know. I don't mean to do it. I just relate everything back to my life, always.
Mega Bro, you got any thoughts on the managing of libertine instincts in the human being, as per the Vegas speech?
I wasn't totally tuning in all the way.
Well, I mean, the gist of the idea is simply that Vegas was a little depressing and a little seedy and a little like shady and ugly. Kind of makes you kind of feel like this is the ugly side of humanity. I saw staggering drunks there and stuff. They got brothels there, and people lose lots of money because they have bad cognition, and or they're just desperate and hoping or something, or just whatever. Do we need to worry about that? Is a regulation that precludes that from occurring in my neighborhood, is that a good thing as a consequence?
I don't think there could possibly be enough demand for it to be everywhere, Gotta kind of concentrate it in one area to get enough people to go there.
That's right. You got a point there. It's good thinking. If it weren't regulated around here, we still probably wouldn't get a casino right here because, well, I mean, there's card clubs in LA. You can play poker, like Commerce, and they have blackjack and other table games there too. But they tend to be zoned like industrial. Anyway, that's a good point, though. Of course, Vegas is the only place that's like that in the whole country. So naturally, everybody who wants it in the country is going to go there.
I don't see gambling as bad at all in any way, shape, or form. It's just people wanting to risk something in hopes of a reward. I mean, we do that all the time. We do that with everyday lives. To a lesser extent, but, I mean, how much value do you place on money? You know what I mean? I don't think you should gamble away your house because that's stupid. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't see anything inherently evil with gambling at all, actually.
Right. Well, I mean, I do like gambling a little bit. I like to play poker sometimes. It's just basically what happens is my gambling goes like this. I forget how much I hate losing. You know what? That sounds fun. I'm going to go play poker. Fuck that. I'm not playing poker anymore. I hate that shit. I lost $60. It's like that. So,
It's just impulse control. How much can you control your impulse to want to risk? I don't know.
it's more than that. With poker, I tell you, you got a really difficult situation in trying to win money because you're up against two competitors. You've got the house is taking a rake. So every pot is won. The house, the casino takes like 50 cents, $1, $1.50 out of it or whatever. So if you don't have new money coming to the table, eventually everybody has nothing except for the house has everything. So there's that reality. You kind of have to be super patient in poker, but the longer you sit there and also the more pots you play, the more you lose to the rake. So you don't just have to be better than your opponents, you have to be better than your opponents plus the rake. And it's generally a good idea, I think, if I'm going to play again, I'm going to try to follow this rule. If I need to set, if I get it to like double my money, or let's say if I start with 40, if I get to $120 or something, then I need to just get up and walk away, because at that point I've done the work I'm there to do. I can just leave. There's no reason I shouldn't go. Well, maybe I just keep staying. I can make it like $600. That's how you lose. I can usually be up at some point early on. You know, I'll be up $100 or something. I need to just get up and leave at that point. Mega Bro, you got any thoughts on poker? Do you play poker?
No, I don't gamble at all.
I bet you'd be good
I
at
mean-
poker.
Nah, my memory isn't very good. I'd have to like practice a lot to even get okay. But my perspective on gambling is that systemically it doesn't make any sense, because like all the energy and time people put into it, they're not actually producing anything of value, and but they're expending so much time and energy. You know, it just doesn't make any sense.
Right. Well, it's like TV, but more expensive.
Right.
I think as far as vices in general go, I think that the gambling types are likely to be, I don't know, maybe ENFJ. I think they might end up with a gambling problem, because TI is going to be lower for somebody with a gambling problem. So probably 4 slot TI. You're looking at ENFJ though, not ESFJ. ESFJ is too satisfied by ordinary things to have a gambling problem. They don't have any need for that stimulation of newness. Whereas the ENFJ definitely does, even though they don't have any in the stack. I think that it's generally well established that STPs and NTPs, if they're going to get addicted to things, they tend to want to get addicted to stimulants, because it tightens the loops. All types are subject to addiction, or alcohol, but some types really aren't subject to addiction in general. So in that cases, they're really not. But if you are going to get, obviously the most commonly consumed drug, and it hits you on lots of different areas. But for other things, other kind of vices like prostitution and stuff, that's got to be an S thing. I don't understand that at all. I've never had any desire to go visit a prostitute. I can't imagine how incredibly awkward that must be, where you go, okay, yeah, hi, I would like to pay you to have sexual intercourse with me right now. How awkward does that have to be? That's got to be the most awkward moment in all of history. Like, I mean, I would just be mortified. The thought of paying money for something that uncomfortable and awful is mind-boggling to me. But I'm sure other people think the same thing about these. I mean, you pay money and smoke those things all the time, Eric. Well, for the same reason you're constantly having sex with prostitutes. And that's one to grow on. Thanks for watching Talking with Famous People.